We are all here.
Hello. Hello.
Good evening. We begin our program.
Hello. Hello. The conference is on.
Let's begin. Let's pray. Mighty Father, we thank you for another evening. We assemble here this wonderful Holy Friday. We are here in order for you to create new things for us. We are here, Jesus, that what you've spoken in your word will happen right now or will come to pass. We are here, Holy Spirit, for you to turn on for us all that we require for a life of pleasure on the earth. Bless the meeting of tonight. Bless it abundantly. Lead the meeting the way you want to. Everybody begin to pray for the glory to visit us tonight. Lord, we ask for the glory to visit us tonight. We ask for the glory to visit us tonight. Lord, we want the glory to visit us tonight. We want the glory to visit us tonight, O Lord. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, 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 amen. What's the topic for tonight? Somebody should help us. What's the topic for tonight?
Please say, walk away and live, stay and die.
Oh boy. That's
Hallelujah.
hallelujah. That is awesome. Walk away and live, stay and die. Woo! Alexis, are you with me tonight, please? Are you with me?
Yes, Bishop, I'm here.
What do you think that title is about? Walk away and live, stay and die. What's the meaning of that kind of crazy topic? Oh boy, that's awesome. I like that. Woo. What's the meaning of that? Who has some ingenuity, who has some insight into what the Holy Spirit wants out of this? This is awesome.
I just feel like it's trusting in God and His purpose and His will,
Mm-hmm.
and walk away from nonsense.
Walk away from nonsense. All right. Okay,
I
that's
think
good.
it has to do also with obedience because He told Lot and his wife through an angel to leave, not to look back.
There you go. There you
But
go.
they thought that stay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome.
that's very good, Leona. Yes.
Yep. Who again has some insight into this kind of stuff? Walk away. Chantel, help us. Walk away and live, stay and die. Chantel, give us anybody who has a story, who has some insight. Vida, if you are on, please. I know I've not been in contact with many people for a while now because of what I'm doing, what I'm creating. Please, anybody call in wherever you are in the world. You're free to join to share your experience with us tonight because this is a discussion kind of a thing we are doing tonight. Now, let me tell you the topic we have for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we are doing tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is a romantic love line. Tomorrow, Saturday, by 9 p.m. Central Time, is Romantic Love Line. We are discussing tomorrow the use of sex. It's tomorrow night. So you better be prepared for it. It's gonna be discussion. So um if you are too holy for us, don't come, please. Because it's gonna be really graphic tomorrow night. The use of sex. Tomorrow I'm going to educate you on the use of sex and the sexual energy, how you can use those things. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m. at this time, we will be discussing that, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. So just get prepared. I want you come. Do not come and just sit there, because there are people who they just wanna come and just sit and listen and go away. No, 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 no. We want to be educated. Remember what the Holy Spirit told me, that there are two kinds of job in the whole wide world. Two kinds of job. Either you entertain or you educate. Simple. No more, no less. That's how it is. Even if your job is to help people, it's all about educate, all kind of stuff. All right, let's go. Um, Chantel or anybody on the line, can you share with us an experience in which you stayed either on a job or in a relationship, in a family, father, mother, brothers, sisters, and it was leading to your dying, or you walk away? Is there any event in your life? Please, people contribute, because this is going to help billions of people. We have 7 point something billion in the whole earth right now, 7 point something billion human beings. And we want to help them. God want to use your voice to help somebody to come out of their predicament so that they will become happy like you are right now. What situation did you find yourself that you were stubborn enough that you wanted to stay, and it was almost killing you until you ran away? You become smart and you ran away. Or what is the one that you decided to stay, it was killing you, or you walk away and you leave? So could people share with us tonight? Can be marriage, could be job, it could be with children, it could be with families, uncles. Please share with us.
I spent 25 years, 20 years in a church, and I died inside of it. And I went because my mate went. And I was in a relationship that was as dead and made me as dead as the church.
25 years. Wow. Somebody else?
Bishop, I can recall back in June 2015, at one of our 7 a.m. services, you asked that I say a prayer regarding our children that might be in bondage or in bad relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole "I see you, you don't see me," I don't know if you call it witchcraft or what have you, that people do against people.
Mm-hmm.
And my son being affected by that.
Mm-hmm.
And saying that prayer and then receiving a call from him, that his eyes had been open, and him realizing that this was not the person for me.
Mm-hmm.
And him being delivered out of that situation. And
Got it.
just by me and you standing in the gap for him, praying, believing God,
Mm-hmm.
And waiting for that situation to dissolve itself.
Right.
So that's a testimony that I have.
Wow, that's awesome. Somebody else, thank you. Thank you, Leona. Thank you, Alexis.
This is Dee.
Yes, see, how are you, daughter?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
I on the relationship for 15 years, and it was a bad one. I was married to that man. He treated me like piece of shit. Sorry for the language. I was his trophy wife,
Yep.
and I was allowed to only clean, cook, not saying anything, just be pretty and take care of my son, our son, well, mostly my son, because I was taking care of him. He was only giving money to what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the beautiful castle with beautiful cars, jewelry, everything that I need, but I was in jail because I couldn't be myself. I couldn't say anything. He was deciding whatever I had to do or to say or to go or to wear and his mother didn't love me at all. She was really jealous of me.
Okay.
Everything that I had, she had the same thing also. She wanted to kill me. At my wedding day, she wore a white dress, the same as the one I had, and she was not smiling at all. At my wedding day, she was really trying
Do
to
you mean that she was
in her power to destroy me.
See, do you mean that she was making a statement that you were not the one getting married, that she's already married to her son? That's the meaning of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But I didn't understand because at that time I was really insecure and I didn't know my value. And my mother didn't help me also because she saw that I was being treated like a queen, but she didn't understand that I was suffering and I was going to hell. And she had, every time that I call her and tell her what he did to me, she said, you know what, just forget about it and just stay there. Everything will be fine. And one day I was just tired and because he was doing a lot of stuff to me, very terrible stuff that I don't need to mention. And one day, I don't know, I didn't have a relationship with God at that time. I didn't met you, also Indika. So one day, God just told me that you have to leave. You just need to go, like right now. You need to leave everything behind, and you just need to go because if you don't leave the house, this house will kill you. Everyone wants to kill you. They don't want you to be in part of this family. And one day I just took the small thing that I had and I just left.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. The one that was really touching was you walking home. How many hours you have to walk home from the highway? From the highway. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And also, Vika, it's just like when you talk to people, everybody sees you have everything. Why you want to leave? You have the big house, you have the big car, you have jewelry, you have everything. So you must be happy. And every time I was explaining my story, everybody was crying because they were saying that that's terrible. But everybody was saying, you know what, you're a woman, just be tough. But I don't want to say that woman does accept those things. They're really bad or anything. This is their decision. But for me, if I didn't left this situation, this kind of life, today I would have talking to you because I was getting to be late.
Wow. Is there somebody?
Yeah.
This is something that is hardcore, core to the heart, core to the mind, deep in the spirit. This is something. I'm serious. This is serious. This is serious. Many of you do not know why we are having this topic tonight. Let me chip in something there really quick. I hope you are aware that there is what we call marriage and relationship that is for your own marriage and relationship to sacrifice you. I hope you are aware of it. Many of you out there are interested in the house, interested in the car. You say, to hell with it, I need it. I need the car, the good car, cushy, nice ride. I need a house. I need a man. I need the money. I don't care what happened. You need it. Little did you know that somebody is marrying you to sacrifice you for the greater good of himself and his own immediate or extended family. And that's what a lot of men and women do not know, because they are limited to money, material resources, to beauty, to houses, to cars, to education, and that's all they are limited to. And people of God, if you allow those things to fool you, then you will be the next statistics in the obituary, in the compilation of obituary in your city newspaper. You better be aware of this, because I'm telling you from my own experience. Many of you, I have heard it, many people have asked me this question. Have you ever practiced witchcraft and magic that you know a whole lot about this? No, no, no. But I have watched. Remember, I've told each and every one of you that I come from my father's family. They practice these things. Although today it's all gone, it's all disappeared, because I put a curse on it. That anybody who want to continue that practice in my generation will die. And everyone who it was handed over to, because they couldn't hand it over to me, because my father disagreed and said, no, it's not my son. You are not going to sacrifice my son in the name of him being a priest of that thing. No. And I personally didn't want it. But I watched and I saw it all. So, and also I'm highly educated to know those things. I exposed myself to see, because I didn't want to be ignorant of those things, so nobody can cheat me on earth. I put a curse on the family. Any male or any woman who decides to continue in what is a problem will die. And everybody who decided to go on that route, all of them have died. All of them are gone. So the thing itself, gone. So now let me share with you what you need to know. I've been around money long enough. I've been around relationship long enough. There were things I didn't know as I was growing up, even till around a few years ago. I mean, even when I was in the supernatural, not really fully in it, not really knowing the depth of certain things. You could be married, or you could be tucked into a relationship, enticed into a relationship, and you'll go into it innocently. Because what you're looking for help. You want to flee from poverty. But how you flee is very important. And where you flee to is very important. Because let me tell you something. The devil knows what you want. And human beings knows what you want. They know that you have suffered hunger. You've seen poverty. Poverty have looked at you. And you look into the eyes of poverty. So, you've sworn that you're not going to be. You want to do everything to get out of it. You want to use everything your mouth, your body. You want to use religion, you want to use church, education, whatever it's going to take. You want to break that taboo and be out of poverty, be out of sickness. Because if you're poor, you'll be sick. If you're sick, you'll be poor. So let's face it. If you are not happy, you'll be sick. Yep. If you are poor, you'll be unhappy. So if one, you're not going to be like your parent. It's not just God who knows what you've planned to do. So somebody will come your way to help you. So be careful about whoever wants to help you in life. Spend time to know. I ask people, who is this man or who is this woman they don't really know? Where is he from? They don't really know. Oh, he's a nice man. He gave me this. He bought me that. And yet deep at the core, you have no idea who this person is. You could be married. You could enter into a friendship and relationship whose motive is to sacrifice you. And you have no idea. And everybody is blaming you for walking away. And they do not know what's really at the bottom of the whole thing. I've seen situations that the body house for the woman bought her a Mercedes, sent her to university, graduated. We are not talking of a 2-year college, we are talking of 4 years, masters, PhDs. But little do they know that that is what we call marked marriages or marked relationship. It is marked, like somebody has put a mark on you. There is what do we call it when somebody is a target? Do we call it they put something on somebody's head? What do we call that, Alexis? When there is a price on somebody's head, what's the slang in American language?
It can be a bounty. There could be a mark.
Yeah, marked. Okay. A bounty, a mark. You are a target. There's a price on your head, and you have no idea. It's all about enjoyment, good food, good everything. And many a time you don't really know what gives that man the real cash that you are spending. You're very happy. Many a time you don't know what's giving that woman the money that she's spending on you. I mean, she takes you to the best places of the world. Cruise. You fly first class. You have everything. And you become arrogant. Why? Because you think you've arrived at the pinnacle of the earth, the heights. There's nothing you cannot do now because you got it all. Little did you know that you are the price. That the money you are spending is you. So what happened? You did not know that at the beginning of your relationship, your significant other or your spouse or whoever, or your friend, has already offered you to something, and a year has been set. Many things you see happen in human history were set in place many years ago. And then they wind it up and the clock begins to tick. Just like when I send you a text blast or a voice message today, I did not send it at that particular time. I sent it like I did it like sometime in the afternoon, and I tell it the time to release the text blast or the time to release the voicemail. And exactly that time, boom, you got it. Exactly that time you got the text. Exactly that time you got the voice. So something has been set in place. Even the coming of the Son of God was set in place, and the clock continued to tick, click, 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 tick, tap, tick, until when it reaches that time, boom, things begin to happen. Normally, that's what they do. They set it. They set up a time for it. Say 7 years normally is the time they set, between 5 and 7 years. And after that, a little accident, somebody is dead. A little sickness, somebody is dead. The other person is dead. And if you look closely, you will discover that before that person died, there's already another woman that is being seen in the circle that is coming to take your place. Who will be the next? Or if it is a woman who is doing it against a man, you will see that she's already in love with somebody else, another man. It's a very horrible thing people do. And the Bible tells us that we are not ignorant of the devices of the enemy. There are some deep things of Satan that you guys need to know. So that when you see people behave in certain ways, you got it. It's not just suspicion. It's also about having the spirit of discernment to know what's playing out here. There's a way somebody is too good towards you that you sit back to ask and say, Jesus, is this you or is there something else involved? Expose every lies and manipulation and you will see how things begin to. In fact, sometimes the person will tell you, why not just leave this church thing alone? You know, I don't like all these church things that you are doing. We do not, we are very private people. You see, now we got money. We do not need all this church thing and all these crazy church people around us. We need a lot of security around us. I don't trust these church people. And you will agree. Because now you got the money, you got what you wanted. So what's wrong about that? So you let go of your church. You let go of the blood of Jesus. You let go of the name of Jesus. Because what do you ask Jesus to give you? You think you got it. So these are all things that you need to be aware of. But if suddenly, perhaps somebody is praying for you, perhaps God remembers you, and then you begin to see things in a dream. If I want to share with you guys some of the things that I've experienced, oh my gosh. I have seen a human being. I thought that a human being was in the same place with me. And I closed my eyes and I saw a big python. And I opened my eyes, I saw the same thing. One thing God did since I was little, when I started to see angels and I started to see ghosts. I'll use the word ghosts. Very careful to use that word because I've seen ghosts. Not one time, not twice, many times. One thing God has done has been, He hardened my mind not to be afraid of those things. I'm not afraid of those things. So I walked away. When you ask God to reveal what is in the place or what is in a person, that person cannot hide their true personality. Because by the time you know it, God will let you see. If you are strong enough that you can stand hard things, God will let you see who the person really is. Or He will reveal it to you in a dream. But by the way, want you to be aware that they are dreams that are put together for you as a form of destruction. They are dreams that are to create confusion. The person you are seeing is not, for example, you see somebody that you really honor and respect stealing from you, coming to have sex from you, turning into a dog or a cat. Many a time those kind of dreams is a demon turning using the person's face. Or you see your real father who is already dead, very innocent man, never cheated on your mother. You see your father or you see your mother with the face of your mother having excuse me. Excuse me, I didn't know this was let me turn it off. Excuse me. I thought I turned everything off. There we go. Sometimes you see your real mother that is alive. Your mother is alive, or your mother that is already gone to be with the Lord. She was a faithful Christian woman. You see him with the face of your mother, and from her waist down is a man, and he has penises and coming to have sex with you. And if, let's assume your mother was alive, you will accuse her that she's a witch. Or sometimes you see your father turning into a woman. When you begin to see those kind of drama, or your brother or your sister turning into this and that, you know that's a demonic influence. That's a demonic influence. So you have to be very careful so that you do not go and be accusing people that you should not accuse. You shouldn't be doing it. You have to know how these things operate. That's why I teach those things, so that you know how these things operate, so that you do not go into conflict with people that you shouldn't have conflict with. I've seen people who see their pastor, their prophet, their apostle, their evangelist, the teacher coming to have sex with them in the night. It's not that person. It's a demon who want to bring about a conflict between you and that person. And if you are someone who is not educated in the art of dreams, how dreams operate, you will hate the person and say, oh, this person actually came, this person is a witch. That's not true. So you have to be very careful about all this. You have to be very, very careful, because the world of the supernatural is easily misunderstood. Be very careful about it. I do not want any of you to be sacrificed for money or for bigger material resources. I do not want any of you to be sacrificed, to become a sacrifice for somebody. Now let's carry on with what we are doing tonight. I was just throwing that in because of what C was saying. People of God, there is a place to walk away. There is a place to walk away. Please, if any of you who is in the conference, you have other agenda, you have other things you are doing, please leave the conference. If you are busy, you're walking around your house, you cannot sit like I'm sitting right now, and just focus. Please leave the conference.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
This is supposed to be a discussion stuff. People of God, I don't know. I cannot wait to reach the point in my ministry that I have so many people working for me who are able to take care of a lot of stuff, so that nobody come to mess with me and what I'm doing anymore in this lifetime. So that when we are in the air, somebody is controlling everybody. So that when somebody begin to misbehave, you are shut out of the conference. I cannot be handling all the technical stuff because I'm alone. Today is Friday. And we are supposed to be discussing and enjoying this. And somebody, let me tell you people, let me tell you, the reason why many of you will never prosper on the earth is that you decide to do too many things at one time. You see, when I decide to come to conference, even if my mother is calling me, I will never respond. Because my focus is to get what God is telling me. Because that's how power is created. But many of you are not disciplined. That's why you don't get anything from God. Because God cannot trust you when you are completely divided into so many things. You can't sit in one place and give it 2-3 hours of discipline. And that's why many of you cannot even finish college. It was reported some few years ago, 49% of all Americans are illiterate. They cannot read and write. Why would they be able to read and write? We're not talking about Africa. Almost like 60% they cannot read and write. They're illiterates. And I can go on with the Spanish community or Europe. The government does everything for everybody. Social workers do everything for everybody. A lot of people. 1% only are educated, because those are the people who are willing to pay a price for what they want, to sit and learn. We are talking of important things. Somebody is moving and disturbing everybody. How can we even discuss anything? I don't want anybody to provoke me to the point that I will just cancel all conferences and concentrate on people buying my material. And that's it. I produce the material just for sale. Let's begin to look at scriptures and see where we go with this. If you are not willing to walk away from certain behavior and you decide to stay with certain behavior, you will never prosper on the earth. Until you're willing to walk away, then prosperity, protection, and promotion begin to work for you. Let's begin to go to what we are doing tonight. If you agree that a particular pattern of life of doing too many things, you want to have children, you want to go to college, you want to do this, you want to get married, you want to do that, people of God, life cannot work that way. And at the end of the day, you are too tired. You don't have any energy to do anything. Crazy kids are fighting each other here. The other kids are in jail there. This is that. What are you willing to walk away from so that you can concentrate? Because you see, this is what we are talking about. When a man or a woman discover that you can easily be distracted, those who, excuse me, let me turn this on. Let's see.
All participants are muted. All participants are unmuted.
One of the greatest power of Lucifer and evil people is this: the ability to spend time to study you, to know whether you are a careful person or a careless person. There are two things people want to discover about you negatively. Are you somebody that can easily be made angry? If you hear a word, can you keep your mouth quiet without reacting? That's number one. Because if you are easily provoked, then you will be a sacrifice for the job, on the job, or for somebody else's appetite. That's number one. Number two, can you be easily distracted from what you originally planned to do? If you can be easily distracted, then you will stay and die when you should be walking away and leave. Rebecca had 2 kids, Esau and Jacob. Because of the passing of power, the blessing, what we call the anointing. Somebody is being anointed and another person wasn't. What was he anointed with? With the blessing. Number two, Jacob was anointed in order for him to be able to touch the sky. And Esau could only touch the earth. The blessing, the power of God, helps you to touch the sky, the heavenly realms. Those who only touch the earth will be limited to this earth and will perish easily. But those who can touch the sky cannot be killed easily and will not be able, nobody will be able to kill any human being who is able to touch the sky. Let me ask whether my wonderful ladies on the conference line tonight. Berlin, are you on tonight? Okay, she's not there yet. I need. Okay. I'm making no demand on you. Who can take notes for us tonight? Is there anybody who can take notes for me tonight? Annie of Norway, if you are watching, I want you to take down notes for me tonight. Vida, if you are watching, if you can take down notes, or Lizzie, if you are watching, take down notes. Any of you, take down notes for me. Don't worry who is taking notes. All of you should take notes. Please write this down. A human being who only can touch the earth will easily be defeated. But a human being who can touch the sky cannot easily be defeated and will never be defeated. Please write that down. That's the major key. Esau swore that he was going to kill Jacob. Did you see Jacob says that because he now has the power to touch the sky, that he's going to stay there? In order for him to be able to keep the blessing, to keep the anointing, to keep the covering of the glory over him, because now he's the one who is going to carry the family name forever. Because whoever has the blessing has the future. Oh my goodness, I love this. Wow! Please write that down for me. Whoever has the blessing has the future.
Wow.
Alexis, I want you to write that down because I'm going to use that on the homepage. I want to put that on the homepage. Whoever,
I wrote it.
yes, whoever. The reason why I don't like you, Alexis, to take note from me is I've already given you too much. So I'm not gonna send you to any therapy for giving you too much. Yeah. Whoever has the blessing has the future. Esau didn't have the blessing, so he didn't have the future. So because Jacob had the future, what did he do? He did not stay back to die from the sword of Esau. He walked away in order to live. And what happened? When Laban cheated this guy, and all that this guy had for his toil was 4 wives, many children, no money, no house, nothing. So before you begin to complain, there are some of us who've been there worse than you do. I decided not to worry anymore because I have the blessing. I'll spend time this year. I'll spend time to teach you so many things. By the end of this year, we will probably have on YouTube between 3,000 to 5,000 videos will be out there. This is the year I'm going to explode YouTube with videos. Because the last 2 years I chilled. But this year I am going to deal with occultic, astrology. I'm going to deal with witchcraft. I'm going to flood the internet with so much videos as I've never been seen by one single man of God or man from God. I mean, I will have a lot of work for sale, but there is a lot that I want to pour in there. My desire on earth is to have over 20,000 videos on YouTube in the internet. On any topic you want, you'll find it from me. Whoever has the blessing has the future. That's what the Library of Heaven told me. That's why if you don't respect the anointing I have, at least respect the glory that comes upon me. Jacob did not sit back to fight his brother. He knew his brother would kill him physically. People of God, there is a place to walk away and be alive. Why? Because you carry more than an ovary and a sperm. You carry a supernatural ovary and a supernatural sperm. I'm talking to adults. My videos are not for kids or for virgins, except you want to learn things. I let it go so that you can see how things really are on the earth. If you have the blessing, you have more than a human seed. You become superhuman. Please write that down. If you have the blessing, you become superhuman. Alexis, I hope you're writing that down. If you have the blessing, you become superhuman. Hallelujah. Jacob walked away because he carries the seed that is beyond this earth. He walked away and he was alive and left Esau there. See, let me tell you something. There are certain situations that if you walk away, you put the person who wanna kill you in a situation of killing him or herself. Because they can't see you. You stay to, in fact, let me tell you something. Those of you who decide to stay and quarrel, you will lose God's glory. If you decide to stay back and quarrel, you will lose God's glory. Because it's not God's will that you should stay and quarrel. Walk away and leave. Stay and die. Now go and read the entire story of Jacob. You see how an angel through a dream showed Jacob how to create money and material resources. Is there in the book of Genesis. What we call supernatural projection. And now Jacob became very wealthy. If he stayed back in the land of Canaan with his parent, he would have died. He would not have, even though he had the blessing, it would not be of any use to him or for his parents. Rebekah and Isaac were willing for him to leave and go. Are you willing to walk away? Because until you're willing to walk away from certain things, you will never prosper. You will never have protection. You will never have promotion. You will never return back a billionaire. You won't. Through negative coincidences, hatred, envy, Joseph was thrown away from the house. He was thrown away, sold. He did not stay back to fight Potiphar's wife. He didn't go to court to go and fight Potiphar and his wife. He waited for God to fight for him. Go and read the rest of the story of Joseph. What you're willing to walk away from. Because, in fact, let me tell you, there are certain locations, certain geography. Many of you think that you can fight every devil in the world, when God did not say you should go and be fighting devils. Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. And many of you do it. Oh, so and so prophet or apostle, they are holding a meeting for me. They are coming to bless the house. They are coming to do this. 2-3 days you become sick. You're fired from your job. Evil begin to happen. Why? The Lord asks you to leave town. You refuse to. You refuse to stay where even God himself do not want to stay. Hallelujah. Look at the life of Naomi and Ruth. If it was some people, they would say, leave me, I will stay in the land of Moab and die there. Naomi decided that let them go back to Bethlehem. They did not stay in the land of Moab. And Ruth, the daughter-in-law, was grafted in to the Jewish ancestry. That's why racism is a very foolish thing. Because God can pick anybody from anywhere and bring them in. Let anybody try me to talk to me. And he must come from the same root. If God finds any good person anywhere, he will bring that person in. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where the person is from. They did not stay in the land of Moab. God will give you back everything that you are willing to walk away from for the sake of his name and in order for you to maintain the future. Because sometimes the war is not about today. The war is about tomorrow. The war against you is not because of today. The war against you is because of what people and the world of darkness has seen about your tomorrow. That's why the war broke out against you. You think people are just fighting you because of your today? No. When they see your tomorrow, they begin to fight to stop you from going there. That's why you give up. There are things you should not give up, but walk away from an environment that doesn't favor you. Please, let me write that down for me. Walk away from a job, from a marriage, from an environment that does not favor you, and increase your happiness, your money, your material resources, your favor, your overall good. And let me say to you what God asked me to tell each and every one of you at the beginning of this year. If you've been trying a relationship for so long it doesn't work, walk away. Be willing to walk away. Let the emotion go before the emotion will kill you. Relationship with a man, relationship with a woman. You've been in that relationship for years, and it has been one warfare after another, one problem after another. Be willing to talk it over with that person and walk away quietly. I'm serious about this. But before you walk away, make sure you and God have planned your future. Don't just walk away when you don't have anything put in place. And you are whining and making yapping your mouth all over the place. And giving your secrets away to somebody else to destroy you. Children give away their secrets so that by the time they leave, they have nothing to protect them. Don't give away your ammunition. Don't give away your secrecy to your enemies. Many of you think that by talking that makes you really good. That makes you feel good. You do not know that you are giving away your powers to your enemies. Stop talking so that you do not give away your powers to your enemies. Please write that down. Stop talking so that you do not give away your powers to your enemies. There is a place to run away. There is a place to stay and fight. David walked away from Saul. David had no army. Saul has all the army. So he has to flee for his life. Many of you will say, oh, because I have Jesus, I'm going to stand and see what he'll do. You are book smart. You are not street smart. They will bury you. I'm going to shoot that man. Whose dad I am or whose son I am. I'm going to shoot that woman. And the next morning they show you. You don't show them. There's a place, if God says you shouldn't fight, don't try to fight. Don't try to stay in a locality, in a geography that does not belong to you. Please write that down. Do not stay in a geography that does not belong to you. If you've been struggling in one place for a long time, please walk away. Ask God, where do I go? Where life is the best and easy for me, where favor is on my side. There are some places you stay, what we call a waiting place, waiting for God to prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. And when that time reaches, He moves you to go and stay there. By the time you move in there, everything is ready for you. People have been put in place for you. Walk away and live, stay and die. 2 angels arrive at Sodom and Gomorrah. And they forcefully took Lot and his wife and 2 daughters, and they left town. They specifically warned, you are not to take anything out of this place, because everything in this place is cursed. The same thing, what happened to Saul, the first king of Israel. He was specifically told, wipe everybody out. Just wipe everybody out. And he did not obey. Everywhere is not for you. Everything is not for you. God is everywhere, but God is not everywhere for you. Please write that down. God is everywhere, but God is not everywhere for you. That's why some people, when they see all this church thing, they want to go and start ministry. They want to go and start church. They want to go and start charity. Deliverance, healing ministry. They want to go into marriage. Have you asked God whether that is for you? You'll go into marriage that will kill you. I know of some people who they want to go into marriage because they want children to continue their legacy. That's why they want marriage. Others go into marriage because they are looking for companionship. Others go into marriage because they are looking for friendship. They are looking for somebody to grow old with, to quarrel with and grow old with. I know people. I remember two ladies who were quarreling, and something happened to one of them and the other, and then one was flown to the hospital, and the other one who was quarreling with their sister, these are blood sisters, came to the hospital crying and shouting, I don't want you to die, I want you to be alive, and let's continue to quarrel, but we will not kill each other. That's what I'm talking about. A lady in my ministry, she was very vulgar. She said, there is this man. She was a friend to this very notorious guy, a gay guy or something. And this guy did not really like her so much, but was using her. So he talks very violently and bully this woman. So another man was trying to disrespect this woman, and the man that disrespect her every day said to this man, you don't talk like that to my woman. You know, she's not your bee, she's my bee. You know what I mean by that? I was laughing when she told me that. So you cannot talk to her as though she's your bee. She's my bee. No way. I was laughing, but it wasn't funny. I told that woman, walk away. Calculate the risk before you walk away. Know exactly where you're heading. People are, well, let me tell you something. In 2016, beginning from today, any decision you're going to make, spend time to think about it. Don't come back to say you've made a mistake at the age of 40. Please, 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 please. Don't be careless with your life. If you want to stay when you should walk away, then stay and die. If you want to walk away and leave, then walk away, and you will live and have abundant life. God is calling you somewhere. God is calling you somewhere. God is calling you somewhere. The answer is somewhere. The answer is not with that person you think the answer is with. I got it when a man took the wife all over to find the healer. I'm not well known. I'm getting well known. And yet when they came to me, God used me to solve their problem easily. Very easily. What are you willing to walk away from? If you apply to another job and you said to God, find me another job that will pay me 7 times more than this, are you aware God will find you something? But you'll be stupid if you quit your job without starting the new one. Some of you are like that. Let's say you were dabbling into occultism, astrology, zodiac, different kind of thing, pornography, all kind of stuff. You are drinking to solve emotional problem or financial problem. You're doing drug and smoking and having sex to solve stress problem. God help you. There are better ways. People of God, I can do without any of those things. Why? I'm not interested. Because none of those things can solve my problem. In 2016, I want you to sit back and think, how do you solve problems? What is it you're willing to walk away from so that the glory will cover you all the time? Do not do things because others are doing it. Lot's wife turned back instead of looking forward. If you are willing, well, let me put it the way the Library of Heaven told me. If you look forward, then you can move forward. Please write that down. If you look forward, then you'll be able to move forward. If you look backward, then you'll go backward. There are so many of you that do not know that people always go back to two places. They always go back to their foundation, bloodline, or they go back to old habits. Any of people, if they are suspicious, they go and commit a crime. Just simply because they are suspicious. There are people who are waiting for somebody else to do something so that they go and do the same thing or even more and justify it. What are you willing to stop in 2016? What are you willing to stop doing? What are you willing to walk away from? Are you willing to walk away from unnecessary expenditures simply because you want to prove a point? I'm against pastors who make their members to go and buy cars they cannot afford, live in a house whose payment will break their back. And because of car payment and house payment, their marriage is collapsed. And the guy is down there counting his Sunday collection. And both of you are out on the street. What are you willing to change? What are you willing to walk away from? I don't know whether anyone has had that experience before. People set you up and you stay there. And you do not know when things gonna. Maybe let me give you a little idea here. When things are going good, that's when you shouldn't be buying. That's when you should be saving money. Because you see, every 7 years is not gonna be always a harvest. There will be 7 years whereby you will take life easy until it passes by. Because you already have enough harvest that you put away. God did not call you to be born again to suffer through and tolerate what you should not tolerate. Many of you cannot even have the life that you should have because of what you put yourself into. The worst thing that I want to tell you is this. Many of you might not agree with me. But when you will be in the court trying to have a divorce, that's when you will know which one is Whose pain, which pain is bigger? Is it the pain of walking away because you discover that you and that man, you and that woman cannot do business together, cannot stay in the same house as married people? Is that better for you to walk away at that time? Or to continue in your arrogance and pride and go ahead and get married, only for you later to get a divorce? And then you'll be struggling over who keep the house, who did this, who keep the car, who, all kind of stuff. I think it's better to walk away. In some culture, they say, oh, because you had sex with the woman, you know, you have to marry her. You have to marry my sister because. And when the days will come that you will see the sex, you don't want it no more. That's when your eye will open. Like they gave you an apple to eat. I'm playing on words. Apple doesn't open people's eyes. Oh, I've spent too much money for this person. I'm not gonna let it go. Really? What are you willing to walk away from so that you can leave? Or do you want to stay and die? I have realized something. Everyone who doesn't have a spiritual father is in trouble. Everyone who decides to be a lone wolf on the earth is in trouble. Second, people are people who are looking for different people to solve their problem. They're looking for different pastors and apostles, all kind of, in different places and countries to solve their problem. Those people are in trouble. What are you willing to walk away from? In 2016, we've talked about the blessing, we've talked about all the good things, we've given you the prophecy, but tonight God is saying I should ask you, if you really want those things to come to pass, what are you willing to walk away from so that you can live? Hallelujah. Is there anyone on the conference line tonight whom you've experienced the kind of stuff I'm talking about? You didn't want to walk away from something until it was about to kill you.
Please push mute the person that just came in.
I'm sorry, it's Deborah. The mute button is on this phone. Bishop, please call me. Have emergency after you get off the phone. I'll hang up so you won't hear the noise. I'm in the car.
Is there anyone who has had this kind of experience? You were not willing to walk away from something until it was about to kill you or to destroy you. And immediately you walk away, everything began to flow. Have you guys discovered that? Many of you began to make money only after your divorce. You began to live good only after certain people walk away. Let me tell you something. I never got a good car until certain persons left my life. Let me tell you, there's somebody in your life who is blocking your life, blocking your money, blocking God's glory, blocking the blessing, blocking your favor. There's one person in your life. Are you guys aware of it? There is one human devil in your life that is blocking your money, blocking your real career, your real job, blocking everything in your life until you discover that person and let that person go, you will never start to have the best car, the best houses, the best things. There are people that you're going to let go. There are people who are staying in your life, giving you a nickel and taking $1 from you every second, and you don't know it.
Wow.
Yeah. Hallelujah. There are people who are in your life. They are taking a penny from you. Every second they are taking a penny from you. And you have no idea. They are taking how did I put it? They are taking the best things of the earth from you. And you think you have the best. That's not true. Somebody is from the back taking. They are giving you a penny and taking $10. Taking everything, taking your life from you. There's one person in your life who is doing it, and that person must go. That person must go tonight. You are going to tell God, reveal that one person in my life who is staying in my life like a hooker, like a hookworm, solid in your life. And they are eating, drinking, chatting, and that one person is there. And come the next 20 years, if you are still alive, you will still be where you are. Why? Because that person is there. And many a time, those people will outlive you. Because there's no way that they're going to hook into you, that they are going to keep you alive for too long. Ask God tonight to reveal that one person in your life that must be let go.
God has revealed to me who that person is.
Who is that?
My ex-husband. He said he has a devil and he has kept my blessings from coming. And I saw in a vision the skies were open, the heavens, the angels trying to come through with the blessings, and this huge creature would grab them and throw them back, my blessings back, because my ex-husband is always around me.
Am
He
I
has a devil.
am
He
I
worships the devil.
am I talking with Jer?
It's Emily.
Ah, Emily.
I saw in a dream I was with Jesus and he showed me.
Okay.
I missed the question.
Emily, did you remember those days that I told you that he has to go? Do you remember me saying that?
Yes.
He has to go. I remember me telling you that he has to go.
Yes.
Because as long as that man was in your life, I didn't trust him. I didn't like him. I've never seen him. But I wanted him to quit because I knew that that man wasn't a good man. And that's when I did a service that you will never be attracted in your lifetime to a Muslim man. Thank God. It was like a voodoo they put on you for Arabian men or Arabian culture men. God have mercy. People of God, what I'm saying is true. One person is stopping your blessing. One person. Just one person. Not two. One person. And when that one person goes, the devil makes sure that he replaces that one person with somebody of similar characteristics that is even worse than the one that just left.
Wow.
That's why many of you swore, I don't want to get married again. Why? Because you don't understand. Why? The same cycle keep repeating itself. Walk away and leave. Stay and die. There are people that you should kick them out of your life. And many of you are playing, hey, I'm born again. We are told to be merciful. We are told to be kind. The question you should ask yourself is, are those people who are in your life dealing, hitting you, destroying you, are they merciful? Do they really want to keep you alive? And many of them are the same born again Christians, religious people. Hallelujah. Whew. Is there anybody who has some other experience that you want to share with us tonight? Of if you had stayed or you had allowed somebody to stay, it would have resulted in your death. Because sometimes God shows you these things in your dream, or you have a premonition about what is about to happen. Anybody share with us? Anybody, please. Anybody. If not,
Yeah, I have an experience.
Share with us what that experience is.
Um, well, I've been like single for a very, very, very long time. It's like most of my life. Never. I had went to when I was about maybe 16 years old. I went to a candid. My family's from Guyana, South America, and he's like an Indian kind of like witch doctor.
Indian shaman. That's a shaman.
Yes, so basically I told him that I wanted to stay in a relationship with my boyfriend at the time. So he gave me something to plant underneath the earth and something to put under my bed. Ever since then, I never had a good relationship with anybody.
There you go.
The only other relationship I had was the husband that I had married, and he was 33 years older than me, and I was just desperate. I needed to be with somebody because I was 27 at the time. And I had no one. There was nobody interested in me. No one seen me at all. So I married this man, and this man was Orthodox Christian. He was Christian, but he still had a spirit upon him that was like a witch. He was practicing it at one point in his life, and maybe he got saved. When I got him, he had nothing. So I helped him with everything. And then when he started to get a little bit better, and he started to, hit me, I had to separate and leave him because there was times the marriage was just horrible. There was times he wouldn't even sleep next to me. He used to sleep on the floor. He ended up having 2 children together. He didn't even want to sleep next to me in the bed. But anyway, to make a long story short, he knows the power of witchcraft. Some people that are Christian, they know that Jesus doesn't do what you want when you want him to do it, but they know that if they go to the power of darkness and they can get what they want faster. But obviously there's a price to pay. So when I started to graduate and do well in school, even though it was a struggle, when I left him and I separated from him, he started to get a little envious, and he put a curse on me, and he wanted my empire to crumble, my finances to crumble, and wanted me to die. This was out of his emotions. He was just angry because I was arguing with him, and he wanted to let me know that I was barking up the wrong tree. He was angry. So after that, my job ended up arresting me because the organization was corrupted with fraud. I ended up being in jail for 3 days. My career, I was a brand new nurse practitioner. They tried to offer a felony to me, trying to me for not to work, trying to ruin my career. Couldn't even get a job at McDonald's because, I had pending criminal charges against me. It was just a big nightmare, I just wanted to die, but I had 3 kids to live for, so I couldn't just die. So this is where I started to just get closer to God and go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is one of the reasons why I found this ministry also, because God was just showing me the hidden works of the enemy, that sometimes a person can be Christian, but they're ignorant Christian, and they either have practiced witchcraft in the past, or that it was in their bloodline, and they never delivered from it, and they can still do things to harm you, And you would think, oh no, not that person. No way, But unfortunately, I was married to somebody, and I'm divorcing him. I'm in the process of divorcing him. And he told me that he was going to make my empire crumble. So I sleep and dream him sometimes, trying to astral project in my room and different things. I think he's tracking and monitoring me in the spirit, but I believe that I'm getting so much enwrapped in God that it's really breaking chains.
Is he living in this? Is he living in the same town with you?
No, I moved. We fled. We fled out of that town. So I don't argue with him and yell with him or anything like that anymore. I try to be, just even tempered, and if he wants to see the kids, I just saturate them in prayer and under the blood. But I don't have too much contact and communication with him. But for the most part, I believe that the Lord had arrested him, and he knows what he did, and he knows that I know what he did.
Are you aware? Are you aware that there are Christians, juju practitioners? Are you aware that they are Christian witches? Are you aware of it? What I mean by that?
I'm not aware that they're witches.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even know that they're witches.
Well, this one is not about that they do not know. They know. What I'm talking about is that they know. You know the reason? Somebody is a Christian and is dabbling into the world of occultism. I mean, there are so many churches that the lodges, many lodge members are born again Christians. I've seen it. They belong to different kind of practices of witchcraft. And they mix these two things together. They mix the whole thing. They just mess it up. The reason is because, let me share this with you. In the world of occultism, they teach them that however you can acquire an extra power, do it. Please learn from me. That's what they teach them. However and wherever you can acquire extra power, get it. That's what they teach them. And they think I don't know this. That's why certain occultic organizations, they meet in churches. And if you're a pastor that carries the glory, they will all leave your church. And these are the guys who have the money, the big money. That's why a real Christian has to stand up and start their businesses and have money, become millionaires and billionaires, so as to support the gospel. Because those who are not real are the ones who are having the money. And if they send them a pastor who carries these special things like myself, it creates a problem. They say, two worlds, two different planets will buck head big time. In fact, like myself, they won't even accept me. Because I walk into that place, people start to die. That's what the kind of power I carry. You attack me, you die. So don't even dare. Just leave. Or if you are going to stay, then you are going to leave those things, because something from me will attack you so severely that, my goodness, you won't believe it. If you had a bald head and you are wearing a wig, a wind will take that wig off your head at the parking lot, and everybody will see your bald head and know how it is. Because things will be exposed. And many a time I like it when I don't even say anything and people start to talk. People start to talk. Let me tell you, many of the deliverance that God has done through me, I did not ask the devil what kind of devil was there. I did not ask what kind of Satan was in the person. Simply the power came. Boom! And whatever was there began to talk to me and tell me, I'm so and so. These are my experiences. So what you are saying is absolute truth. It does not, see, many of you make that mistake. Oh, Father, give me a born-again Christian to marry. I want somebody who is born again and spirit-filled. You know what my answer is always? My answer always is good luck to you. See, I didn't say favor, I said good luck to you. Because it's all about that luck. It's not about favor until you learn how to really pray. Somebody being born again and spirit filled is not a qualification for marriage. It's part of it, but it's not the real thing. Those of you who really want to be in a relationship, you're going to pay me $222. That's what it costs you for 1 hour with me, one hour of a class with me. If you want me to prepare you for relationship, tomorrow we are discussing the use of sex. Tomorrow, please come to this meeting. Tell people about this. We want to find out what sex is meant for. And tomorrow I'm going to tell you how people can use sex to trap you. You'll never get out of it. And I'll talk about sex spells or sex witchcraft tomorrow. That's what we'll be dealing with tomorrow. Hallelujah. Ha 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 ha. R from Pennsylvania, thank you very much for sharing that with us. There's a lot that I'm going to expose you to, so that you are aware of what you are entering into this world and not make any more mistake.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there somebody who had similar experiences? I have had an experience that I have to walk away. Immediately I walk away, my door opened. Money began to come from left, right, and center. And there are certain people you cannot carry with you if you want the glory to manufacture money, power, blessing, the real people to appear in your life, the real husband, the real wife, the real kids, the real this, the real that. If you really want it, you're not going to stay. If you stay, you perish. Everything you have, you lose them. Is there somebody who has some experience to share with us before we start praying and we close? Anybody?
Yes, Bishop, I have.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, everybody on the line don't know me, but Bishop has really been praying with me and talking to me about a lot of different things that's been going on with me. These two relationships that I came out of, I went with one, and it was my son's father. And I was with him for like 5 years, and I didn't know that it was the same thing, but listening to the stuff that I've been hearing today, that relationship is almost the same as this last. This last relationship I was in it for 3 years, almost 4 years. And it was drama on top of drama, on top of drama, on top of drama, all the time.
That's what we call of Illinois, we call that drama on top of trauma, and trauma on top of drama. That's what it is. Continue. Because you cannot have drama without trauma.
Yes, sir.
Continue.
So, everything that he was feeding me at first, it felt like he was everything that I was looking for. We had chemistry out of this world. I can feel him. We next to each other, and I could feel nothing but sparks. And sex was so unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Never had sex like that with nobody. Never felt chemistry like that with nobody. So it was awesome. We the same zodiac sign, same birthday, 1 year apart. So 1 month we fine, everything's going great. Then the next thing you know, something's going on. I'm finding out about many different women in a relationship with him at the same time as me. And it was just thing on top of thing. So I was trying my best to make him happy in every situation. I was pampering him, treating him like a king, like I treat most of my men. But it was just getting worse and worse. He was just sucking it up. So he turned from this puppy dog that was treating me so wonderful to a dog. He ended up treating me so cruel. I never fathomed in my mind that he was the whole entire time setting me up. First, he was turning me against my family members. We wasn't getting along. around because they saw the true him. And so then after a while, we kept going through this on and off phase. We'd be together 1 month, off 1 month, be together another month, off 2 weeks, or off 3 weeks, or off a month, or off 3 months. So after a while, I started saying, you know what, I can't see this. So then we started working on living together. So that ended up being an issue. First, he started picking at me about my finances. Now, mind you, the whole entire time all of this is going on, his mother is in his ear telling him that I'm not good enough for him, that I don't make enough money for him. Where I stay at is not a good place. But she never laid eyes on me, never saw me, never had a conversation with me. But she's telling him that I'm not good enough for him. I'm not the one. And just everything. So he's listening to her. He's listening to his brother. I don't have a house. I don't have a car. I don't have this. So I don't live up to their standards. So to him, he's settling, settling. Then he started coming to me with, what do you have to offer to the table? Because he worked for a high-profile company, and he drives a decent car.
But then he had,
okay.
but then he had no dime in his pocket, has no house of his own. But he's accusing you that you don't have money, you don't have a ride, you don't have this, and you were the one providing the money. You think I did not know about that side?
Yes, sir. So, I felt like this is just too much. I couldn't figure out under the sun what it was or what it would take to make him happy. So then I said, forget it. Then after a while, when he's gone, everything's cool. I get blessed with a job. But when he's gone, it's fine. But I'm missing him. But when he comes back, we back fighting again. I'm having problems again. So I'm trying to work it out with him, but it's just not working for Bishop Ray. He said, okay, do not take him back. He's like, I'm gonna bless you with this job. Do not take him back. I'm gonna bless you with this place. I'm gonna bless you with her. Do not take him back. I said, okay, I didn't want to, don't get me wrong, I love the bishop. I just didn't want to believe it because of the fact that I had been with him 3 years. And I was like, okay, Bishop came out and would be right about this man. A few weeks later, just like he said, he came right on back. Came right on back the same way he said he was going to do. He's searching all over, be with so many different women, and then all of a sudden he don't want to be with me. So I'm trying to hear what he's saying. I'm trying to give him a chance. And as I'm trying to give him a chance, I'm talking to him. And I'm like, he hasn't really changed that much. The only thing that he did was change him physically as far as changing some physical things and moving from whoever he was living with to this house. But that's basically it. Maybe bought some clothes. So one day I called the conference line. Pastor was prophesying, and he came and picked me up. Not only was Pastor prophesying, but another young lady was on the line prophesying, and she told me not to take him back, and that it was going to be the same as before, worse. And that, mind you, at the same time, I'm in the car with him while she's prophesying to me. So I'm still thinking, okay, God, I don't want to take him back. So I don't know how it's going to go. I lost my job. I was working for St. Joseph Hospital. I lost that. I lost my place to stay. Ended up being kind of almost on the street, but he prayed that some things worked out. I got an apartment. The apartment I got, it went crazy because I took him back during this. The landlord wanted to take me to court because I wasn't sleeping with him. So he started telling the people at the courthouse that I owed him money, but it was really basically about a sleeping arrangement that he wanted. So I took the young man and I said, you know what? I can't take you back. I said, you still on the same thing. You in another relationship. So I let him go, and everything failed. The chips failed. I just let it fall. And then I sat in the mess for a little while. And then I thought about it, and I said, you know what? God, I know you're right every time I turn my back on you. Everything goes so wrong. Come to find out, Mama putting curses on me. He put the curses on me. I'm like, but Dad, what is all this? What did I do? I couldn't figure out how was it that I went from one man to the next and they both the same thing, but one is worse than the other. I couldn't figure it out. How did it go so wrong? How did I lose jobs? How did I lose places to stay? I got a 7-year-old kid. I got a 23-year-old daughter. alone, and I leave all them people alone. And when you alone, ain't nobody there. You always by yourself with your key. What you gonna do? He told me right then and there, leave him alone, and I've been seeing it in my mind ever since. I'm telling you, I can't do this no more. God bless me with so many things, and every time people come in my life, like my son's father, just like this man, they all leave. I went from a full house, furnished, to nothing. I don't have a bed. All I got is my clothes. I don't have a car no more. I don't have nothing but my clothes. I don't have a job. I don't have nothing because I took somebody back because of what I felt was love, and it wasn't love. So that's my experience.
Wow. Tomorrow, when I'll be ministering about sex spells and sex witchcraft, you guys will understand this. You'll understand what every one of you will understand her story when we'll be dealing with this tomorrow. Please go to your website, go to your social media site, whatever platform your WhatsApp, your Google Plus, your Twitter, your Facebook. Go and let everybody know that Bishop Edikai Mary will be ministering about the use of sex, and we are going to when I will finish ministering about it tomorrow, many of you will see sex and you won't want it. You will run from it. Seriously, you will flee from it. You don't want it anymore. Because there's more. There's something about it that you don't. You see, there are things involved. You see, everything that God has made that are for good has also been turned against humanity. So tomorrow we'll see. Today was simply for you to walk away. Be willing. Be willing to walk away. If there is something that you should walk away, and there is something that is keeping you from walking away, then you can talk to me about it. Talk to me about it, and then we'll deal with. It's not something that we are going to deal with tonight. People of God, I want you to understand that when I minister all day, I come to minister in the conference, I pray for people all day. After the conference is not a good time for anybody to call me. Anyone in his right mind should just know these things are draining. They will drain you. So it's not a good time for anybody to call, except I said to you, call me, then you can. But outside that, it's not a good time. Because it's after the conference, that's when I go back to pray, recover myself, take a good bath, relax a little bit, go to bed, wake up in the middle of the night to start preparing for tomorrow. These things, they take time. If not, I cannot really be productive the way it is, because these are real, serious issues. If there is somebody you are into a relationship with, and deep within you, the Holy Spirit has been asking you and telling you, walk away from it. If there is anybody in your life, could be parents, could be children, it could be anything. If you feel the Holy Spirit is telling you that's where you get stuck, then you need to move. It's about time. If you are in a city, particular city, and it has been a struggling place for you, ask the Holy Spirit where your money is, where the glory is for you, so that you do not need to be struggling. God may tell you something. It takes one evil person to come back into your life, and everything that God has given to you will disappear. And not only that, the glory will be lifted. The glory will be gone. When once God's glory lifts and go, you're gone. Many of you ask me, why is it that I've not moved the ministry to Las Vegas? You don't get it. I go to Vegas to spend. That's where I go, ship things, do this, do that. I go to study because there are things I want to set up in the future. Vegas give me a good background, but is that where I make my money? No. God has not asked me to move to Vegas or to any other place yet. Seriously. When I come into Wichita, all my mails are waiting for me. Sometimes it is until I fly in, then the phone call begin. Oh, Bishop, we are sending you this, Bishop. But once I'm out of here, nothing comes in. So I know where my blessing is. I've been invited, given a big home, nice places in Canada and other countries for me to move the ministry there. And God said no, because I remember the original prophecy was, don't get out. Stay here. This is your headquarters. United States of America and Kansas. Stay in Kansas. So that's what some people do not get. It's not about that I cannot move. And of course, I hate moving anyway. Because when you reach the age of 40, moving about is not an option. You don't need to be doing that. And if you own a ministry or you own a business, you need to be in one place. You don't need to be moving around anymore. Because you make one false move, you lose it all. Because if you carry the blessing, then you carry the future. You don't need to make any quick move concerning anything for any human being. You cannot do it. Including your parent. If my mother live in North Carolina or South Carolina or London or somewhere, and I need to move the ministry there, no, they have to move in with me. I cannot move with them. Because until the glory moves to somewhere, then you move. You can only stay where the glory is. If you stay where the glory is not, everything will be against you. Including those who love you, who invited you, they will all move away from you. That's how this thing is. And I've learned over the years. How about people who invited me? Oh, we love you. We care about you, Bishop. Move. And I move. Oh, I suffer like a criminal. I will never forget it. I will never forget it. Back in Africa and here in America, I learned my lesson. That's why some of you love me, you care about me, but sorry, I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere. Why? I've suffered enough in life. I'm now street smart. See, you become born again to become street smart. You don't become born again to only be Bible smart, to become street smart. Somebody come out there and preach and talk, and everybody so wound up with emotion. 10,000 bring, you go and write and give to them what you don't even have. I will sit down there and be looking at you. I'm not giving you a dime of my money because you are not worth it. And I'm not giving you money that I should use for other things. It's the same God. I'm not sending no money to heaven. Every money is going to be used on earth. So no matter how you're going to preach or put it, I'm not giving you my dime. To go and buy a new airplane, I need mine. Thank you. I'll sit down there on my butt and watch the rest. There is a musician from Nigeria that is called Fela. He's now dead. He said, those who know, sit down and watch. Those who do not know are shouting and going out there. You need to be street smart, not just spirit smart. The spirit smartness activate and make you even to be street smarter. Those who are street smart think that because you are just a Christian, they can come and fool you, ask you to move in, and you go and give them your money. You take your children and they're moving. Do not move in. Stay where you are. The condition is not right. The atmosphere is not right. The foundation is wrong. Do not move in. Stay where you are. And the worst is when people begin to give you prophecy, why you should go here, why you should do this, why you should give, why you should donate that, why you should. They begin to give you prophecy from everywhere. And you go. You follow. I do not follow prophecy. I follow Jesus, the Son of the living God. I follow the Holy Ghost. Any prophecy anybody give me, any preaching anybody preach to me, I will tell you, thank you, sir. I'll think about it. And I'll go and ask Jesus what it all means. A guy saw that because a preacher was preaching that there are people who need cars, they are looking for people to give, to donate cars. God, if you donate your old beaten car, God will give you a Mercedes. God has not yet given him a Mercedes. He went and gave his car away. Sign it over. And he was working for many years. God really trashed him, punished him for that. And he was asking God, why I gave it to you? No, God said, you didn't give it to me. You gave it to the preacher man. You did not give it to me. I did not ask you to give anybody a car. What? That was what the preacher said. That you said, he said, did I call you by name to do it? We need to be street smart about this thing. That's why those who are businessmen, when they become preachers, they scam each and every one of you and take your money away. And you'll be there asking, God, I did it for you. And God said, no, you did not do it for me. You were not street smart. Precious Jesus, reveal every scammer in our lives. The one person who is stopping our blessing. The one person who is stopping the flow. The one person who is stopping the money. The one relationship that is the problem. Reveal them, expose them, and destroy them. I destroy every soul tie in any realm that is holding anybody who is listening to the sound of my voice captive. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. I break chains. I break chains. I break chains. I break things that have been tied in secret places. I break them. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Amen. And amen. I silence emotions. I silence emotion. I destroy things in the emotional realm. I break things in the experiential and memory lane. I break them.
Amen.
Things that want us to stay. People that want us to stay and die. Lord, I throw them out of our lives tonight.
Amen.
Amen.
They are not walking through the door. I'm throwing them out of the roof and out of the windows. I'm throwing them all out tonight.
Amen.
People who want us to settle for what does not belong to people of God. Do you know that you can get married to a man or a woman and that man or woman doesn't belong to you? And even the house they promise you, put your name. Hey, come and sign your name. They take you to the bank to sign your name. Your name is on the bank account. Your name is on the house. You're so happy. Yay! Your name is on the car, and so on. And after a few months, the man goes back. The man goes back after a few months and remove your name from that bank account, and remove your name from that car, and remove your name from that house, and you are here happy. Yeah, I have a wife. She's given me everything exactly what I asked God to give me. Look at you there. Look at, I'm smarter than you. Look at me. I got it. You did not get nothing. Look at you. I asked you to be smart like I am. Look at, she gave me everything. He gave me everything. My name is in the house. I have my name in all those buildings. Look at me. And one day, they bring you a divorce letter. Your mother-in-law just come to the house and start the trouble. Somebody will always come. The evil person will send another evil person. And that's when you'll be saying, hey, mother-in-law, you don't have no authority over me. This is my marriage. She said, really, your marriage? Yeah, my name is in everything. He said, okay, you better go and find out whether your name is on it. That's when you go to your husband. Are you sure my name is there? The husband says, oh yeah, your name is there. They will lie to you. Bunch of liars. You need to be very careful. It's not every way, it's not every relationship, it's not every marriage that you are supposed to stay. Not every business. Some of them, you are the sacrifice that they've sacrificed. You are the price. My people say that when you visit a family, be very careful. And the family brought you, they killed a goat or they killed a cow for you and made food for you. They say you should make sure that you know that you are paying the price for what you are eating. You go to your people and they've cooked good food for you, buy you good things. Just be aware that you are the one who's gonna pay the price for that. The price tag, the bill is coming to you. Sooner or later, you'll get the bill. One way, directly or indirectly, you're gonna pay the bill. Nothing is for free. You better know it. The steak you are eating, you're gonna pay for it sooner or later. That free house, you're gonna pay for it sooner or later. I want to let you go tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Please, we don't have services on Friday morning and Saturday mornings anymore. I want us to have 2 strong services. Tomorrow we'll have service at 9 p.m. That will be a short service, and then we'll have service at 12 midnight for warfare prayer. That's tomorrow night, not tonight. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, 12 midnight. Every Saturday, 12 midnight. For those who want to join me in warfare prayer, you come on, let's do it. Well, I want to let you go. Remember to help us to preach the gospel all over the world. Remember to help us to preach the gospel, to tell people that Jesus is Lord and that He's King. Hallelujah. Remember, go to our website, plant a good seed. Go to the page that says Money, World and Services, and you can find one button or the other that you can support. And also, please, we have product for sale. Go to IIM Marketplace on our website, www.idikaimaryministry.com. Go there and buy our products. God bless you, and God keep you till I see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
You're welcome.